When lockdown began in March, we immediately moved to having 2 e-bulletins a week so that we could keep in touch with each other as a congregation and we could talk about what's happening in church and what our needs might be. We're going to keep that going for now, but the Friday one will be a video bulletin. It will still arrive in your inboxes, but will also be available on social media. The move to an online church has been an interesting, quite exciting and also a creative one, as has happened in churches across the country. And we've learned a lot about it as well. One thing that we've learned is that although it's good to have worship available online, it's not quite the same as being in the building. And we look forward to being able to return to public worship in July. However, media does have its place in different forms. Earlier this week, Father Fergus and I spent some time filming with BBC Newsnight, and that will go out, I think, possibly tonight or in the next few days, as they explore what some churches are doing in the pandemic period. But as well as the BBC, we've been working on our own online output. Those of you who've been watching the Sunday output and sharing in worship that way will know that different members of the congregation have shared in answering the service and giving the responses. And I'd like to encourage you, if you'd like to have a go at this, to drop me a line. Please do just email me if you'd like to do that. It's all very straightforward and we can guide you through the technical side of replying on behalf of everyone who can't be in church at once. But a video bulletin is also an opportunity to get to know each other in a different way. And Father Fergus has been talking to different members of the congregation. And today we're going to hear from Jan.
Hello, Jan. Tell us something about yourself.
Hello, Fergus. I'm Jan Hutchinson, married to Ray, who some people in the congregation will know as well, because he's one of the several retired clergy in the congregation at St Nick's. I was born and brought up in Liverpool, but moved away when I was 18, went down to London to train as a nurse, and got married while I was in London to Ray. He got married when he was a very newly ordained curate in Peckham. But we came back up to Liverpool the year after we got married and have been in Liverpool diocese ever since then, and have been in various parts of the diocese. Ending in Wigan, where we lived in Wigan for nearly 20 years. And Ray was rector of Wigan Parish Church when he retired. My job was I worked in public health after nursing for a little while. I was actually director of public health in Bulletin for 10 years before I retired. So if I'd still been working during this pandemic, yeah, I would have been a very
busy woman. So, on the subject of which, tell us how have you been coping? What have you been sort of missing? What's it been like for you?
I think the main thing I've missed is just the normal everyday routine, just the freedom to do what you want when you want to do it. I think, yes, being able to come to church. Being able to sing, I really, really miss singing. I sing with the choir as well as singing at St Nick's, and I really miss being part of the choir, although we're now rehearsing by Zoom, which isn't quite as satisfactory. I really miss seeing my family. We speak to them by Zoom and obviously by phone, but my mum, who's 96, I'm hardly able to see at all, and I do find that really, really very difficult. And I think that at the moment, we don't really have an end in sight, although bits of the lockdown are being lifted, albeit perhaps a bit too quickly for my liking.
Part of our Friday bulletin is to look ahead to the weekend. On Sunday we'll be celebrating the Feast of the Most Holy Trinity, which incidentally is also the 16th anniversary of my ordination to the priesthood. I shall be celebrating the Eucharist, and the sermon will be from the Reverend Michel Montrose, who will of course expound the entire mystery of the Trinity to us, and we look forward to that. Sunday school will meet as normal, and if you're not already part of that, please do contact Father Fergus and he will induct you into the mysteries of Zoom Sunday school if you are of an appropriate age. And other than that, we look forward to the weekend ahead And the next notices will be on Wednesday in the e-Bulletin, where we'll continue to have our art, our pictures of what's going on, and the general notices. So keep safe, stay at home, and we're going to start shifting the focus of the church in the next few weeks to opening the building and returning to public worship. So you'll be hearing more about that as we go along.